Mute. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Neeks Sports. This is your match preview for Real Sociedad versus Manchester United. Yeah, we know Champions League is back, but Man United ain't in it. So we're going to talk about the real competition. We're going to talk about the one that we all listen. The Europa League is where it's at. That's the bottom line, and you know why it's where it's at? Because that's where Man United are. So wherever Man United are, that is where it is at. That's what I'm gonna say in it. But yeah, we're playing Sociedad. Obviously, we know we got knocked out of the Champions League group to Leipzig and PSG, both who are in action today. Actually, Leipzig against Liverpool and PSG versus Barcelona. And we'll be covering that. We'll be talking about that in my Champions League weekly roundup. So on Wednesday evening, straight after full time. So it should be just about 9:45, 9:50, straight after full time. We're going to be doing a Champions League roundup of all the week's Champions League football, and we'll be doing that in future weeks as well. But in terms of tonight's game, Thursday's game, this week's game, Sociedad against Man United. That match has been played in I was going to say the San Siro. No, it's been played at, I think, Juve Stadium, actually. It's completely just left my mind. But yeah, it's been moved from Spain because of what we know, COVID restrictions, travel restrictions regarding COVID. So there's actually a few games this week in the Champions League and Europa League that are being played in neutral grounds. Even though we're still going to have the away goal rule, is being played in a neutral ground. So we'll see. I mean, the question is it going to be a disadvantage to Real Sociedad because they're not playing at home? I mean, there's no home fans anyway. There's no fans in general, wherever stadium you're in. So is it going to have that big of a difference? I don't know. But maybe your home comforts, the dimensions of your pitch, all that kind of thing that you're just used to playing, 19 out of 38 games at least, excluding the cup games, which they're not going to have by playing at I think it's called the Juventus Stadium, actually, in Turin. So I guess that could be seen as a benefit to us. We're both going to be playing in a place where it's unfamiliar for both, yet we're going to have the opportunity to get an away goal. But I don't want us to play our first team. I'm not going to lie. I don't want us to play our first team. I want us to make a lot of changes because for me, the Premier League is still the priority. We know we're not in the title race. I mean, Man City are running away with it. I don't think there is a title race. Man City are the winners of the league this year. It's just a matter of when they win it, by how many points, and who finishes in the places below. Man City are going to win the Premier League. Man United are not in the race. So for me, for this season, it's about, can you win a cup? Of course, the Europa League is a possibility. And where are we going to finish in the league? Top four is a minimum. I want to finish second. I want the gap from us to first place to be closed. Last year was 33 points, so we're pretty much on course to close that, except for horror capitulation. But also the gap between Man City and us. Like the gap between Man City and us last year was 15 points. We need to close that gap. We need to make sure that really we're finishing about 10 points max behind Man City, and it's going to be difficult looking at the form that we're in, the form that they're in. It's going to be difficult, but for me, yeah, I think the Europa League is not a competition I want to put too much focus on. If we are talking about winning a cup, I would like to be more focused on winning a FA Cup. Not that the FA Cup is bigger than the Europa League. I'm not going to be so stupid to say that. However, when you start the season, the Europa League was never in our plans because we didn't plan to be knocked out of the Champions League. So it kind of just is what it is in regards to that. But I just think it's a lot of effort it takes to actually win the Europa League. There's a lot of games you start. It's like we're in the last 32. When you're in the Champions League, for example, you go into the last 16. So we play an extra game. You travel if COVID allows you travel to all the ends of Europe, depending on who you draw against, etc. And you play on a Thursday, you play on a Thursday, you play on a Sunday, you play on a Thursday, and that's your schedule until your Europa League campaign ends, whenever that might be. And I just think on that schedule, it's going to be very difficult to balance both competitions successfully. Very rarely does a team actually get to Europa League final and challenge for the league at the same time. We know we're not challenging for the league, but the way the league is set up right now, it's difficult. It's difficult. So for me, I would like to focus on the Premier League and the FA Cup, which is one-legged ties. You can play your best team because the Premier League games will be postponed at that time anyway. And you can still have a successful season. For me, play your second team in the Europa League. If you get to a semi-final, then cool, you can start thinking about playing a bit more stronger players, but do not put any focus on it. And I hope the fan base, if we do play a weaker side and get knocked out, we have to understand what our priorities are. Yes, we want to win a trophy, but at what expense? At what cost? Are we so desperate to win a trophy that we're willing to sacrifice our league form, or willing to sacrifice the potential to get back into form? Because we're out of form at the moment. We've got two wins in our last 7 games, or something along those lines. It's not good enough. We need to get back to winning ways, and consistent winning ways, as soon as possible. Looking at some of the comments, Adam Talk Sport says we are getting smashed. And he says, yes, Shola is in the squad. Hopefully he features, but he only features if we're up comfortably. He said he's been added to the B-list squad, whatever that means. I think it's because of his age, he doesn't have to be registered properly. So hopefully, yeah, we're going to get some rotation. Mo Wada says, I would like to see Greenwood up front and Ahmad on the right. We're going to get into what team I would like to see. We know Solskjaer's going to do whatever he does. We don't know what he's going to do in terms of this game, but I'll give my lineup. What lineup I would go with? Not a predicted one, but a lineup I would go with a bit later. Shane said, if I'm correct, our record against Spanish clubs isn't good. You're right, it's not good. We've been knocked out to Athletic Bilbao. We've been knocked out to Sevilla, of course, last year. In the Champions League, we've been knocked out to Barcelona in the past. We've been knocked out to Real Madrid in the past. Yeah, our record against Spanish sides in Europe ain't great, and something that we need to address, because Spanish sides are top quality in Europe at the moment. Maybe not say the best, because we still say the likes of Man City, Liverpool are right up there, but they are right up there with the best in England, the best in Germany. So if we're going to be successful in Europe, we need to be able to play against Spanish sides. And you can say, oh, just one team here, one team there, but Spanish sides have a certain way of playing. So if you can play against Spanish sides, then or if you can find a way to play against Spanish sides in general, it may cover a lot of bases, regardless of who the opposition are. I think Atletico Madrid are probably the anomaly when it comes to the way Spanish teams play. Shane says it'll be interesting to see what Sociedad are like. Yeah, it'll be interesting, because when the draw was made, Sociedad were top of La Liga, flying, and obviously at the time we had obviously got knocked out of the Champions League. Our form wasn't great. It was like, we're going out. Now we may still go out. We don't know. But at the moment, Sociedad are 5th. Their form has been a bit up and down. It's not as consistent. They have won their last couple of games. I'll bring it up now. So they beat Getafe in their last game and beat Cadiz in the game before that. But before that, they drew 0-0 with Villarreal. They lost to Betis in the Copa del Rey. They drew with Betis in the league. Beat Cordoba in the cup. I'm working backwards. Lost to Barcelona in the Spanish Cup. That can happen. Lost to Sevilla and drew Osasuna. So their form has been up and down. So for me, it's not. Yes, they won their last 2 games, so that can give them some confidence. But they're probably as fluctuating in terms of form as us. As I said, they were sitting top of the Liga when the draw was made, and now they're in 5th. So it's a game that I think we can win. If we play our first team, I expect to win in terms of over the tie at least. If we come out with, let's say, a 2-2 draw or whatever as the away goes, then it's something you take back home. But if we play a weakened side like I'm hoping, then maybe we might not get the result that we want. But as I said, at what cost? At what cost? And this is the team I would actually go with. So it's considerably weak. It's considerably weak. I've gone with Dean Henderson in goal. I think everyone would accept that he should play in all the cup games. Some people would even say in the league. I'm going Wan-Bissaka right back because I don't think Brandon Williams is good enough. That's the bottom line. Don't think he's good enough. Will he be good enough? We have to wait and see. We don't have the depth at right back that we do at left back. So I think we're gonna have to play Wan-Bissaka there. The reason why I'm going Tuanzebe and Lindelof, we know that he's probably going to go with Maguire. See, it's what he does. But because for me, Bayern Maguire should be starting our most important games. And our next most important game is Newcastle. Therefore, Tuanzebe and Lindelof should play this game. But we don't know what Solskjaer's going to do. He may do something completely different. So Lindelof, Tuanzebe, the team I would go with Tellez at left back, rest up Luke Shaw. And I will go with a 4-3-3. He's probably going to go 4-2-3-1. And if he plays this team, for example, or this midfield at least, he would probably go with Matic and McTominay as the double pivot with Van der Beek in the 10. But we've seen so many times that Van der Beek in the 10, especially without a progressive passer in the number 8 or the double pivot position, I guess, very isolated. He's not in the game. And I've seen it so many times that it's very obvious against Leipzig when we won 5-0, same thing. He was isolated in the game. Against who was it against? Sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Against Arsenal. No, sorry, not Arsenal. Against West Ham in the Camp Nou, not Camp Nou, in the Olympic Stadium where we came back and won 3-1. Bruno was rested. He was completely lost in that number 10. Against West Ham in the Cup. Same thing, just the other day at Old Trafford. So for me, if we're gonna play this formation or this personnel midfield, Van der Beek has to be in a 3, Matic holding with McTominay and Van der Beek as the 8. Obviously, McTominay box to box. Both of them box to box, really. Both of them box to box. And it gives enough protection in that midfield. We know that he's gonna go with Bruno. I say that to be fair. We don't know, but I believe he'll go with Bruno. And if he does do that, I still want to see Van der Beek. So I still want to see Van der Beek in that in the double pivot if he does this. But Van der Beek has to be playing. He needs games. But just not as a number 10. And then the striking positions, we're just lacking on the right. Someone said earlier, it was Mo Wada, said that he wants to say Amad Diallo. And I was tempted to put Amad Diallo on the right, where I put Juan Mata. But I thought maybe a bit of experience and then the creativity that he can add and hopefully the link up. If you're going to go with Van der Beek, you're going to need another creative player in there as well. And I think the link up that him and Mata can give in an attacking position can prove very useful. So I would go with Mata on the right-hand side, Martial on the left, and Greenwood as the striker. And as you can see, that means I'm saying Bruno, Rashford, and Cavani are my first choice forwards. Of course, we know for me, I would have Greenwood on the right in the Premier League games with Cavani through the middle. He can play. Greenwood's young. He can play many games. We don't have to protect him as much as I think either protect him or not trust him in the way that Oli isn't at the moment, dropping him for certain games, taking him off first when he's actually playing well. You know, he came on against West Brom and did more than a whole front line, probably combined, or looked more dangerous anyway, than especially Martial and Cavani did in the whole game. So Greenwood, for me, I would like to see him through the middle at the given opportunity. He's just signed his new contract, so big up to him. Apparently, it's about 75,000 a week for the next 5 years, with 4 years with an additional year. So that's him set for the next 4 or 5 years at Manchester United. And we hope that he can go from strength to strength. So that's what I would go with. Let me go through some of these comments. Adam says, Neeks, at least we aren't Liverpool, but this defense got to change. Mengi hopefully is good, but can't rely on him. Once he comes back, please get Koundé in. We need a centre-back desperately. That's not even a question. Desperately. Red Devil, speak up yourself. Make sure you go and subscribe to his channel. Check him out on the socials. I think we need to put out one team for Europe and one for the league. We will be at a disadvantage. We try to play our strongest team all the time. Yeah, I said the same thing at the beginning of the stream, and this is why I've gone for this team here. Mo, so we've changed our play style slightly this season. I think we are better against the press. We should be fine. Against Spain. Sorry. Yeah, well, last season our issue was that we as he said, as Rodevil said, we just couldn't finish. We couldn't finish. We did not finish our chances. So yeah, I guess you both made the right points there. We did play well. We end up conceding sloppy goals, which we just seem to be conceding these days. Very, very sloppy, weak goals, which is costing us games, costing us points, costing us progression in the Champions League as it was. Shane says Spanish sides always ball position sides and tiki taka, and this will be a good test. And if we go through, we have put out one of the better teams in the competition, 100%. And as you said, after Benfica are playing Arsenal, so one of those will be out as well. Charlotte is tired of waiting for his debut. What's his full name? Scholler. I don't actually know. I saw that he was called up today. Manchester United. Oh, is that why? I was wondering. That's why it's a play on word. Scholler, short tire. Is that you say it was short I don't know how you say his name. So yes, he's short tired of waiting for his Manchester debut. He's young, my friend. He's 17. He's 17 years old. He can't be tired of waiting. But it will be interesting to see if he gets a game. Should we try Axel at right back with Bayern Lindelof at the back? This would be a good game for Mata. They're probably very technical, which suits Mata. I agree 100% with the Mata one. The reason why I wouldn't do that is because that means you play Bailly in this game, which means Bailly is probably not going to start Sunday. I want Bailly against Newcastle. That's the only reason why Bailly is not here for me. But I wouldn't be surprised if we do see Bailly because he'll probably go with Lindelof and Maguire on Sunday. And it's going to piss everyone else, going to piss me off. And it hopefully doesn't cost us, but it may well cost us. And Axel has looked good when he plays right back or in a back three. As a back two or back four as it is, he hasn't looked as good. Donny was isolated in the Liverpool game. Same thing. Very true. Very true. Off the bench, unless we're planning on playing counter-attack, I don't want to see Dan James starting. It's almost 4 years since you last won a trophy. Is this becoming a trophy drought? So what, 2017 Europa League was our last trophy, wasn't it? Is it for a club? For our club, yes, it's been becoming a trophy drought. But in that time, obviously, Mourinho's had a year and a half. Got to the FA Cup final, didn't win it. And Solskjaer's had a year and a half as well in terms of as a permanent manager, 2 years overall. So I said for me, I would like to win a trophy this year. Next year, we have to win the trophy. Have to. And this, that will be Solskjaer's third full year of management. Has to be winning the trophy at that point. As a club, yeah, 4 years is long for Man United not to win a trophy. I'm trying to think going back in the days what we won the league in 2003, FA Cup 2004. 2005, we didn't win anything, lost in the FA Cup, and then 2006 won the League Cup. So we didn't really go through droughts without, one season here, one season there, maybe two at max. And even the League Cup, we won in 2006. It was like, that's the League Cup. So for me, when we won the league in 2007, that was like, finally, we won our first trophy in 3 years because the last major one was the FA Cup in 2004. Diallo must play. Yeah, sorry, about the Diallo one. I want to see Diallo 100% at some point in this game. Whether we're winning, losing, drawing, Diallo should get on this pitch. Because if we're drawing and we need to go for a win, bring on Diallo. If we're losing and we need to get back in the game, bring on Diallo. If we're winning, then bring on Diallo. There's no reason why Diallo should not get some game time in this game. And I think it's a thing that it's something we all want to see. Yes, thank God Sevilla aren't in the competition. Sociedad been back in some form recently. Yeah, I went through their fixtures earlier. They won their last. For those who didn't see, I'll bring it back up again. So they won their last 2 games. But prior to that, it's still been a bit up and down. Still been a bit. Oh, you can't really see that properly. Yeah, still been a bit up and down. I don't. Is he even in the squad? Is he even in the squad? Great chance for Van der Beek to show something. His facial expressions are speaking 1,000 words right now. Yeah, I think so. Like, partly he has to take responsibility for his own performance, but I think Solskjaer's putting him in a position and in a combination of midfield that it doesn't suit him. You know, he played against Everton, West Ham, and we had Fred and McTominay behind him. Was it Fred and McTominay? Yeah, I think it was Fred and McTominay behind him. They're never going to get the ball to him, and he's not going to drop deep in the same way and run the game in the way of Bruno would. So, yeah, I wouldn't. I would play him, but yes, you have to accommodate him a bit better. I mean, if you have to play Bruno, cool. You know, that's what you do. I don't agree with it, but you want to start Bruno, put him on the right then. Put him on the right. If Mata can play creative on the right, Bruno can do something. I'm not Bruno, sorry. Van der Beek can do something. I just think the number 10 position, he just gets isolated. He needs to be more involved in the game one way or another. In the midfield, for me, would be best, but we know sometimes Solskjaer just goes with the two DMs. We know they're not proper DMs, but in Fred and McTominay or Fred and Matic or Matic and McTominay, whatever it might be. I know you don't like Martial as a striker, but this game could be a good game for him. Well, listen, it can be a good game for him from the left. He doesn't have to. Martial, for me, is better from the left anyway. He can still hold up the ball on the left. He can still link play on the left. But when a ball falls to someone in that middle, or someone needs to make that run, I want it to be a proper number 9, and I want it to be Greenwood. So he can be effective on the left. Cool. He can get goals from the left. So I'll definitely start him. I'll probably play him 90 minutes as well. But I would like to see him return to some form, of course. Listen, Hello Madrid, I'm getting used to the theme tune, innit? I'm not too bad about it. I don't know. I don't really watch basketball in that way. I keep up with Lakers and a few of the superstars around the place. So if the Knicks are good now, I didn't know how bad they were before. But yeah, in terms of Sociedad, as we went through their recent form, but in terms of their players, we know David Silva. David Silva is, I guess he was returning to play against Manchester United for his long service to Manchester City, an absolute legend, a Premier League legend, not just a Manchester United legend. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's going to start. He hasn't started he started the last game, but before that he hadn't started a lot. So I'm not sure if he's in their first team as it stands. I would like to see him play against us just for the kind of the story of it, but the narrative. But we have to see whether or not he plays. They play generally a 4-3-3. Their last game they played a 4-5-1 or 4-1-4-1, but they generally play a 4-3-3 with Alexander Isak through the middle. They've got, I don't know how to say his surname, Mikel Oyarzabal, something like that. I don't know how to say his surname, but he's got about 12 goals this season, a goal every other game he scores. Isak, young striker. I test on the Football Terrace, as you know. He and from Have Hope's channel, he loves Alexander Isak. He rates him higher than Haaland. Does he rate him higher than Haaland? Yeah, he does. He rates him higher than Haaland. So we'll see about that. I don't know about that. And they had a guy called obviously William Jose, but he left to go to Wolves. So that's one player down, I guess, than they didn't have before. And Adnan Januzaj is returning to play against Manchester United. He's done a few interviews today, or interviews came out today regarding him, and he's got a release clause that Man United can activate up until next season. I don't want us to activate it. He's doing whatever he's doing over in Sociedad. Let him do it. He said he was speaking about how he would still be at Man United. Basically, if it wasn't for Van Gaal, whether he was ever good enough for Man United, we don't know. He burst onto the scene, got 2 goals against Sunderland, I think it was. Brilliant goals as well, won us the game. But he's just, he never proved that he's good enough to be Man United. We were going through a lot of turmoil at the time, so we know that could have affected him. But I'm not thinking about getting him back even to fill our vacant right-hand position. That rumored PSG lineup means Barca are going to win. I haven't seen it. But I do think Barca are going to win that game anyway. 2-1 I've gone for. But in terms of this game, we also got Azia Iramendi. He was playing under Moyes, I remember when he did an interview trying to say his name, and that was hilarious. But listen, they're a good side. Nacho Monreal from Arsenal, he's there as well. They've got a good side. They play good football as Spanish teams usually do. So it's going to be a tough game. I mean, I would say the benefit to us, as I said at the start, it's not at their home ground. It's neutral territory, the Juventus Stadium. So that could be a benefit. If we play a weak team, I could easily see us losing 2-1. If we play our best team, I can see us winning 2-1. If it's a mix and match, I'll go for a draw. So the lineup for me is going to determine the result more than anything else. I still want to play well. We need to get back to playing well. We need to get back to winning games and getting good results in good matches over 90 minutes as well. I want to see that. I want to see some big performances from Dean Henderson. You know, people talking about he should be replacing David De Gea. I haven't seen enough for him to say, yeah, he's ready. So this is your chance to prove it. Axel Tuanzebe needs a good performance. Forget the racist stuff. Like, that's not his fault. We don't condone that at all. But in the last few times he's played for us, he hasn't played well. That's just a matter of fact. He has not played well. He's been partly responsible for us losing games, drawing games, losing points. So he has to play well. Victor Lindelof, I mean, maybe this will suit him anyway. There's not going to be, I don't think, a massive physical element to their game, aerially or just in general play. So this European style football may suit him a bit better. But I would like to see he has to play well as well. We just need the players back into form. Van der Beek is one I'm going to keep a close eye on. One, in terms of the position he's playing, and two, just his performance, his demeanor on the pitch, his willingness to get on the ball and take control of the game. I know maybe that's not his natural game, but if you are the main creator, you're the game is going to go through you. You have to take control of it in one way or another. I'm not saying you have to pick up the ball from deep and drag it, but when you get the ball, you have to do something effective with it. Too many times he gets it and passes it on to someone else. And I'm like, I think it was a chance against, I think it was West Brom or no, not West Brom. It was against West Ham. The ball's on the left-hand side and of the area, inside the area, like maybe to the left-hand side of the 6-yard box. Shoot, take a shot. But no, he goes for the pass. It's like, take a shot. You need to take ownership at times. But if him and Mata can play, I would love to see their link up. Whenever they've played together, it has looked good. Mason Greenwood through the middle, I would like to see that. I want to see him, his striker instinct come to the fore as the years go by. And Martial, listen, as I said it before, I said it again. He needs to come good. Like, it's all good saying whether Martial's not good enough, etc., etc. We need him to be good enough. That's just a fact. We haven't got the depth in certain positions, you know, wide positions, to be able to afford Martial having a bad season or to carry Martial. We can't. So we need him to come good. He needs to return the confidence in terms of return to form. So I would love to see him be involved in a few goals, getting on the score sheet himself and being a creative force. That's what I want to see. So it'll be a very, very interesting matchup. Of course, that game is on Thursday. So we've got a bit of time. We can see the Champions League, what could have been. We could have been the Champions League, but we're not. So we deal with what it is. And we enjoy the games on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then full steam ahead for us on Thursday against Sociedad. But as I said, make sure you check out on Wednesday evening, soon as the final whistle blows in the last match on Wednesday, so 9:45, pretty much around that time. I'll be doing a Champions League roundup of both the Tuesday and Wednesday matches. So make sure you join me here. Everyone who's watching, make sure you smash that like button right now. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Share the content on all your socials. And thanks for joining me. I'll see you soon.